Well, hello again and welcome to another episode of the Hyperion Adventures Podcast. I'm Tom. As always, I'm with my gorgeous, wonderful, intelligent, extremely hard-working Disney Run music loving wife and co-host Michelle.
That's right. Hi, everybody. Thanks, sweetie.
I don't know when I came up with that one. It was
I
a little
don't know
backwards,
either.
but it worked, I
Okay.
guess.
Yeah.
I guess.
I guess we'll take it.
Yeah, we'll take it for now, I guess. Thank you for joining us today. We are recording this episode on Sunday, March 27th, 2022. Wow. It's the end of March. Can you believe it?
No. But I think we say that all the time.
Yes.
So
we're constantly amazed, apparently, that time moves forward.
quickly.
Yes. Constantly is a shock to us every single week. No, March was really interesting for us because, to be honest with you, and we don't talk about a lot of with our numbers on this show very often, but March was an incredible month for our downloads of this show.
It was so exciting.
Yeah, I mean, like it's blown away every other month we've ever had, mostly due to an episode we did a couple months ago. Apparently the Encanto episode that we did where we explored that is just blown up and has the most ever downloads we've ever had for a show. But hopefully if you've listened to that and have stayed on and are listening to more episodes, welcome to the Hyperion Adventures Podcast.
Yeah, we're glad that you joined us and we hope you stick around.
Yeah, reach out to us and let us know that you caught on to the show through that episode and that you're enjoying it so far, if that's the case, or whatever it may be. We're just glad to have you on board.
Yeah, this is exciting.
Yeah.
Very exciting.
It's been a very thrilling month for us.
March
as far as
Madness.
It has been so much madness this month for so many reasons.
Know.
It's incredible. Thank you for joining us today. In the future, you can find us most everywhere you get podcasts. However, the very best place to find us is on our own website, HyperionAdventurespodcast.com. And while you're there,
We invite you to join our newsletter group.
yes, please sign up for the newsletter. Just another way to be involved in the Hyperion Adventures podcast world. Sometimes we share some extra things with you like we did last week. Michelle had a link to something we were talking about last week that we shared within the newsletter. It's also, we often either ask questions or give you information before most other people out there. But mostly it's just another way to be involved in the Hyperion Adventures podcast world.
That's right. And we don't share that email address with anybody. It's just for us to send you the newsletter.
Yep, that's it. That's all we want it for. Another great way to be in contact with us is through our social media channels. We're on Twitter at Hyperion Podcast, Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest at Hyperion Adventures Podcast. If you are on Facebook, come on over and join in the good, positive Disney energy fun we're having on our Hyperion Adventurers Facebook group.
It's a super fun group and love that it's growing and that everybody brings some really wonderful, like you said, positive energy to that group. So it's great.
Just there talking about, Disney adventures, real life home adventures. Not that Disney isn't a real life adventure, but you know what I'm talking about. Just having some good time out there, sharing things with one another. It's just a fun group.
Yeah, we get to celebrate everybody's excitement together and it's awesome.
For sure. You can also check us out on YouTube. Just do a search for Hyperion Adventures Podcast. Hit subscribe and you'll know whenever we have a new video. And if you ever want to contact us for any reason, please hit us up at our Gmail account, HyperionAdventuresPodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah. And as we say each week, we love hearing from you.
We do. For whatever reason you want to contact us. If you want to suggest a topic, if you want to answer one of our questions that we put out there, if you just want to say hi, we love hearing from you through all these channels that we just discussed.
That's true.
And if you want to support the show, there's a couple great ways to do that. Plus, you can get a lot of great merch out of it. Little Hyperion Adventures Podcast logo merch. The first way is through our Spreadshirt shop. You can go to Spreadshirt.com and do a search for Hyperion Adventures Podcast, and we'll come up there with all our different gear and all our different logos. You can also just go to our Linktree account. That's another great way to access that. And we get a portion of the proceeds that help us support this show, help go through the costs that we have that are associated with this show.
Yeah. And for those of you who have already made some purchases, thank you.
Yeah. And we hope you're sporting that Hyperion Adventures podcast logo gear proudly as you go to the parks, or even if you're just sitting at home sipping coffee or whatever it might be. Another great way is to become a patron of this show through our Patreon page. If you just go to patreon.com/Hyperion Adventures podcast, we have tiers starting as low as $2 per month, and we give you swag there, and we have some other things that are involved. And we appreciate everybody who's already become a patron member of this show.
Yes, we can't thank you enough for those of you who have already joined our Patreon group. It really means a lot to us. It really helps a lot with the, all that it, like Tom said, takes to run the podcast. We're not making any profit off of it, but we just
no. About as far as making profit as we could be on this show right now. Yes,
that's true. But anything that you can do to show your support would be greatly appreciated.
Yeah, we appreciate it. And again, you get some great stuff, and Michelle has plotted out some interesting stuff that we want you to get involved with as Patreon members at some point in the near future. Now, before we get into this week's stuff, we like to take a look back at the week that was and kind of point out, we always feel that there are some bright spots that happened from the week that was, and this week is no different. So when we do this, we kind of like to go back and pick out what our favorite thing or things were from this week. And when we do this, we always start with Michelle, one, because she does the best research. She has the best list, which we'll probably find out momentarily here. She definitely has the best tips, but she usually has the best favorite thing from this week as well. So Michelle, what is your favorite thing from this week?
You're sweet. I think one of the things that surprised me because of the timing and made me happy is we had put in for our DVC a wait list reservation for an upcoming Moonlight Magic event, and we got notification a couple months early that the room became available to us. So I'm really thrilled about that.
Yeah, that's exciting stuff. It was a wait list, and that landed. So yeah, that'll be set us up hopefully for that Moonlight Magic event coming up here in the near future.
Yeah. So what about you?
There were lots of stuff from this week, actually, that my favorite thing. My favorite thing, honestly, is that Michelle has got this next week off, and we're enjoying that. And I was just happy to have her around. We've got a lot of stuff we need to take care of around this house and some things that are going on. And so Michelle is going to be home, but we're going to do a lot of that, and we're going to just enjoy each other's company over the next week. So that's exciting as well. Yeah.
Haven't had a staycation in forever. So this is kind of cool.
That's kind of cool. Yeah. I'm enjoying that
Me
very
too.
much. Another thing that I found very interesting is we watched this last night, and I think it just came out on Disney Plus this week, was the Mickey Mouse shorts. They're like they've been doing some compilations for the seasons, and they just dropped a springtime one this last week. And the first two are okay. It weren't my favorite ones, but the third version, they're like three different shorts put together. Yeah. The third one is so great because there's so many Easter eggs and little fan service things that are thrown into it. We just got a kick out of it last night when we were watching it.
I know. That part was really funny and cute. And we actually have an Easter egg episode coming up. So maybe some of our chat will be about that.
Okay. I didn't know that we have an Easter egg episode coming up, but that's cool. Yeah, I like that. So yeah, very good. Yeah, lots of little Easter eggs. I need to watch it back again because I think there was so much there that I didn't see.
I know. It goes so fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
so
cute.
That's cool. One other thing I want to get to is my favorite thing from this week is we reconnected with an old friend of ours that has a brand new business. And I think that you all might be interested in this business because it's for a really good cause. And this friend has opened this business called MNST Designs, kind of like Main Street Designs, I think is what it's supposed to be like. And they are kind of doing this artwork, lots of cool t-shirts, all Disney related. And the best thing about it is the proceeds all go to charity. They go to Give Kids the World, all the profits out of it. And once they get through their production costs, they all are going to Give Kids the World.
I know. That's so great and such wonderful people. So this was awesome. And that could have been a best thing of the week too, is reconnecting with them. Like you said, a lot of new fun things happened this week. But
yeah, these are friends that we had kind of lost touch with for a little while here, and they just reconnected with us this week. And we thought, hey, that they were telling about this business. I'm like, we're going to put this on the show because this is a great idea. I was checking out the gear, lots of cool stuff there for you to go through, all Disney related, just a lot of fun things. If you want to check them out for yourself, first you can find them on Instagram at MNST Designs. Also go to their website, mnstdesigns.com. Again, MN as in Nancy, stdesigns.com. I will put the link in our show notes as well, so you can go check out that gear for yourself. And again, all the proceeds they get out of that are going to give kids the world.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. Great stuff. And it's so good to, hopefully you're listening. Great to reconnect with you. Thanks for contacting us this week. And now, on to this week's show. We have lots of stuff for you this week, including we're going to continue on with our Hyperion Adventures podcast, Disney Songs Madness Bracket. We're going to go through another round of that. I think originally I was going to have it close out this week. Now I think I'm just going to get us through the Elite Eight matchups and the Final Four matchups. Right. And next week, we will have the last two together, and we will tell you who is our eventual champion. And if you have filled out a bracket with us, you can see if you have won our prize package. So that'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, I'm glad we're breaking it up. There's just a lot going on, and that's a lot of bracket to just like ramble through.
There is a lot going on for sure. Speaking of that, lots of stuff for you this week, including if you've thought there has been a little something missing from World Showcase since the parks reopened, well, we have some good news for you about that. Speaking of things returning to the Walt Disney World Resort, there's a guest favorite form of transportation that's set to come back as well. We'll tell you what that is. And so is another beloved nighttime ticketed event that is returning as well. We'll tell you all about that. But enough about all of that stuff. Let's go ahead and get to our main topic of the week. For this week's main topic, it is springtime, Run Disney Springtime Surprise Race Weekend coming up this week. Best of luck. We were actually supposed to be out there for this race. I'm a little disappointed we're not going to get to go. Yes. Yeah, more than a little disappointed. Yeah, we were going to be doing the race for the Taste 10K coming up, and unfortunate, due to some reasons that we are going to get into in the next several weeks, we have had to change those travel plans, but we are cheering for you from afar, from across the country, for everybody who's taking part in all these exciting races, which there are some cool ones. Like, I'd really love to have been a part of any of those three races, whether it be the Everest 5K.
I know. How cool is that at nighttime?
Right. The race for the Taste 10K, the Tower of Terror 10 miler. They are all cool races. And we are, like I said, cheering for you from afar out here on the West Coast.
Yeah. So very exciting for everybody. We're excited for the people who are going to be in the race.
Right. We want to see all your pictures. We want to see what you're cosplaying at. We want to see how you do out there, how you finish. We are very thrilled for you. But even though we can't go, we did think we could do a little bit of something to help you out and maybe add to your playlist for this weekend or any of your Run Disney weekends coming up, or just for your workout at home, whatever it may be. So we thought we'd go through and kind of pick out some songs that we think you might want to add to your Run Disney playlist. And when we do something like this, we almost always have to do a 5 favorite list, right, Michelle?
Yes, that's the best way. It's fun. And it can help formulate my mind on how to attack it.
There you go. There you go. So we need something laid out for us simply because, brains don't always work real well. But yeah, no, this is a lot of fun. We're going to go through and name several songs that we think you might want to add to your Run Disney playlist, songs that we have added to our Run Disney playlist or are planning to add to our playlists. And when we do these lists, well, we always start with Michelle. One, because she's gorgeous, awesome, wonderful, all things good in the world. She does the best research. We know she has the best tips. but she always has the very best lists as well. So Michelle, let's go ahead and go through it. What is your number 5 favorite song that people should add to their Run Disney playlist?
Okay. And it'll be interesting to see if or how many we both have on our list. So, so my number 5 comes from the movie Zootopia, Try Everything.
I won't give up, no, I won't give in till I reach the end, and then I'll start again. No, I won't leave. I wanna try everything. I wanna try even though I could fail. I won't give up, no, I won't give in till I reach the end, and then I'll start again. No, I won't leave. I wanna try everything. I wanna try even though I could fail.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's the message in that song is so inspirational, and it really gives you permission to respect yourself in that moment and recognize that even just attempting the task is an accomplishment that you can celebrate. So I feel like it's inspirational in that regard.
Yeah, you're going to fall down, you're going to get back up again and keep trying, and I love it too. Try everything, get out there and do it. Give things a chance. If you're doing these races, maybe you've only, run a little bit, and you're going in to do something, whether it be the 5K, the 10K, the 10 miler, or, in the future, one of the half marathons, even the full marathon, something you've never done before. Take the chance, go out there and give it a try, and you never know. You may be surprised with what you can do.
You may be surprised with what you can do. And if for some reason you don't make it, it's okay. You went on that journey already.
Right. That is a song that I've done my list a little differently this time. I did my list with songs that are either have just recently added to my Run Disney playlist, or I'm about to add to my Run Disney playlist. That one has been on my Run Disney playlist for a long time. It is one of my favorites. It definitely would be in my top 5 if I'm just picking completely by my favorite running songs. Right. It's got a great beat. It's got a great message. I love it. Right. But it made it as an honorable mention on my list because of that.
Very good. Like you, I wasn't sure how to approach this, whether to put new things on only or a blend of just what our top 5 were. So I have a bit of both.
Bit of both.
Good. So what about your number 5?
So my number 5, well, in pure Hyperion Adventures podcast tradition, I have a 5A and a 5B. But they come from the same franchise. I'm going to start with from Ralph Breaks the Internet, Zero.
Hello, let me tell you what it's like to be a zero. Let me show you what it's like to always feel like I'm empty and there's nothing really real. I'm looking for a way out. Hello, let me tell you what it's like to be a zero. Let me show you what it's like to never feel like I'm good enough for anything that's real. I'm looking for a way out.
One thing you'll see with a lot of the songs that I pick is I'm always looking for pacing with my run.
Right.
And so I'm looking for something usually with a good beat. I can keep my feet moving.
Right.
And I will vary my Run Disney playlist depending on what kind of race it is, where I want to pick up speed, where I maybe want to slow down.
Sure.
But that is one with a great beat. It's an interesting song done by Imagine Dragons, and I thought that was a good addition to my Run Disney playlist.
Right. Can't agree with you more. It almost made my list. It was on, then it was off, then it was back on, and then ended up being on honorable mentions. But yeah, I agree with you. The beat is just one that can, and it feels like I don't know if a party sounds right, but just something, that can, help those endorphins going.
It gives you the energy,
Right.
it inspires you. It gives you that, that it's a driving song. It's got that energy to it, as I was saying. I think it just helps you, get you through some slow spots within your race at some time. So, so I have another song. I have a 5B as well. And this is also from the same franchise, but it's from the original movie, Wreck-It Ralph. And it's When Can I See You Again?
Yeah, it's been fun, but now I've got to go. Life is way too short to take it slow. Before I go and hit the road, tell me when can I see you again?
song with high energy, a great beat to it. We really love it from the movie, but also from the Paint the Night Parade, which
Right.
was one of the driving songs behind that when that
Right.
was going on at Disney California Adventure and at Disneyland Park. So we really have fallen in love with that song as well. And I actually think that one might have been on my playlist a little bit longer than some of these other ones, but I'm really glad to have it on there for sure.
Yeah, me too, because that's my number 4.
Ooh, well, good.
Yeah, the way I had thought about it, just you're right. It brings me back to my happy place. We've seen a couple of the Paint the Nights where we did the special seating package and really just loved it. Love that parade. Love how it's it's a modernized version kind of the Main Street Electric Parade, and and for a run, it has that great beat to it that is just fun to continue to
Right.
plug through the run with.
Yeah, hope it comes back someday, whether it be at the Disneyland Resort or if it goes ahead and finally makes its way over to the Walt Disney World Resort.
Right.
I would love to see it get back out there and do it because it is a great parade, especially for those of you who haven't
Right.
been able to come out to the West Coast when it's been on and see it. So
Yeah.
so those are my 5A and 5B, and apparently I stole your number 4, so you're welcome.
I know. Even the whole description of why we like it. No, I'm kidding.
So I guess I'll just go ahead and stay over here and move on to my number 4.
Yeah.
This one is from, again, it's a television movie franchise that I still don't think we've ever watched yet. But the music, every time it comes on something that we're enjoying, I find it great. I find the energy behind it interesting and wonderful, and I just love it. So the new song that I'm going to be adding to my Run Disney playlist at the number 4 spot is "Chillin' Like a Villain" from The Descendants.
Wanna be cool? Let me show you how. You to break the rules. I can show you how. And once you catch this feeling, once you catch this feeling, you'll be chillin', chillin'. Oh, chillin' like a villain. Chillin', 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 hey, chillin' like a villain.
So another high energy song,
Right.
just a fun song. I especially for if there's some of these races, sometimes they'll have a little villains theme behind
Right,
it.
yes.
Perfect addition for something like that.
Totally. No, that's a great one. Yeah. Good choice, honey.
Thanks. So that is my number 4, but let's get back to the real list, the really interesting list, and that is of course Michelle's list. Michelle, what do you have as your number 3 favorite song that people should be adding to the Run Disney playlist?
All right. So this was definitely one I'd like to add to mine. It's a newer one from the film Encanto. It's Colombia Mi Encanto.
Colombia te quiero tanto, que siempre me enamora tu encanto. Colombia te quiero tanto, que siga bendiciendo tu encanto. Y es que a ti Colombia yo te quiero tanto, que siempre me enamora tu encanto. Colombia te quiero tanto, que siga bendiciendo tu encanto.
So, although the song's beats per minutes are a little bit faster than I'm targeting for, especially if it's a long haul run that I'm going after, it's still nice to have that little burst of inspiration to, briefly push me to go a little bit more. And I just obviously love all the music to Encanto. So I think those two things together, kind of in the middle of a run might be helpful
Yeah.
and fun.
Great song, great energy song. I love it very much. It nearly made it onto my list, and it may make it into my playlist because so good. I actually It's funny because although I didn't add it here, I don't have it on my list because I just didn't think that most people would want to add it to their Run Disney playlist. But my song from Encanto that I've recently added to my Run Disney playlist that I love is "Waiting on a Miracle." Just because I find it, I find it builds. I find it interesting. It may be my favorite song from Encanto. As much as the entire playlist, there's just something about the emotion. Something strikes home with me from that "I Want" song from Encanto.
Yeah.
But I did seriously think about adding Colombia Mi Encanto to the list for sure.
Cool.
Very good choice. I love that choice.
Thank you.
Nice pick.
Thank you. So we're at your number 3.
My number 3, we're going back to not really a classic movie, maybe a classic Disney movie out of the 90s. And, it's surprising that this was not on my Run Disney playlist before because it has been around for so long. But I really enjoy it. And there are a few songs out of this movie that could make my Run Disney playlist. But I'm going to pick, in particular, out of a Goofy movie, Stand Out.
All I need is half a chance, a second thought, a second glance of proof. I got whatever it takes. It's a piece of cake. To stand out above the crowd, even if I gotta shout out loud. Tomorrow is the only face you'll see. Gonna stand out, hey, stand out, yeah. Stand out. Tomorrow is the only face you'll see. Gonna stand out till you notice me.
Noticing a theme there with my, like I want all my run races, all my run songs to have energy behind them because boy, do I need them when I'm going through a lot of these, especially some of the longer races for sure.
Right. That's a great song. I love it. And it would be great on a run list. Surprising. I do have several of the songs from the Goofy movie and I don't have that one. So I don't know why I skipped it, but I'm glad you recommended it.
See, now it'd be adding it right onto your
That's
playlist when you get the
right.
next opportunity for
Exactly.
sure. So that is my number 3 song. Michelle, what is your number 2 favorite song that people might want to think about adding to their Run Disney playlist?
All right. So we're getting down to the end here. Number 2 from The Princess and the Frog, Dig a Little Deeper. So yeah, this song, I mean, for a lot of reasons, I think is just great for a run playlist. It has a great beat and, great song and sound to it. A lot of great messages, obviously, in that song as well. But specifically, for me, when I'm in a run, especially, when you're maybe getting closer to the end game there, but not quite. A song like this, and I'm going to get emotional, that's weird, where it helps motivate you and let you know you have more strength in you than you believe, and that it really helps prod you to get that faith in yourself and get you to the finish line.
Yeah, dig a little deeper.
Right.
This was an honorable mention of mine. Could have made my list. I thought about it for a little bit. It's a great choice. Yes, dig a little deeper. Get that extra energy to get you through that next mile, to the finish line, whatever it may be. You can do it. You just got to try. Give it the effort. Give it that old college try.
Right.
Dig a little deeper.
Well, I mean, and we've been on different runs and some have been longer than others, but, I remember in particular a 5K that I actually wasn't feeling well. And it was tough. I didn't know if I was going to make it. I really didn't. And, I knew I had trained for it and everything and things, but I was so sick. And
you just woke up that morning and were just, in hindsight, you probably shouldn't have run that race.
Right.
I remember that one.
Yeah.
But
you
wanted to go through with it.
Right.
And you did get through it, but oof.
I know. But yeah, I mean, this was pre-COVID. I don't know if it was a flu or something or some kind of a stomach bug.
It was like a 24-hour
yeah.
stomach bug or something.
But it was bad. But and so ever since then, I've always felt when I'm going on a run, and hopefully this is helpful to people listening too, is that, especially if you're new to running or whatever, having something, maybe 2/3 or 3/4 of the way through to kind of help pull your spirits together, is really beneficial.
Yeah, that race was really early on in our Run Disney history. I know we'd only run a few races at that point, and so we were still learning the ropes. And that was our first Walt Disney World race too, so that was a different animal. We were used to running at Disneyland back when they had the Run Disneyland races, and approaching that it's significantly different than approaching the Walt Disney World ones.
Right.
So we were trying to learn that, and then it didn't have, poor you came down with that bug the night before.
Yeah.
But you made it through. You finished and everything. So I'm proud of you very much.
Thank
very
you.
proud
Thank
of you.
you.
So
Appreciate that.
nice.
So I guess we're at your number 2.
My number 2. Hashtag real men do love Frozen.
I knew this
there's
was
no
coming up.
question about that. But I don't love a lot of Frozen for my Run Disney playlist. There are just not a lot of songs that have that beat to it that I usually like when I'm running a race, so it's really tough. As much as I want to have them on there, I just have never really found that one until I remembered, oh yeah, there was that nighttime spectacular at Disneyland that had this great version.
Let it go, let it go. When I rise like the break of dawn. Let it go, let it go. That perfect girl is gone. Here I stand, and all I say, let the storm rage, let the storm rage, let the storm rage. The cold never bothered me anyway.
I had to get it in somewhere, right?
Sure.
But really, I mean, and I only played a portion of it. It's about a minute and a half, the entire version of Let It Go from Mickey's Mix Magic at Disneyland. But it goes.
Right, that's true.
It's a fantastic remix that has a great beat to it, as you got to hear a little piece of there, that will definitely be in my playlist very, very soon.
Yeah, I like it too. I think I would enjoy that. And you're right, it does have a beat. Like as I'm listening to it, it's like, okay, I can feel my feet, running to that beat, and I know that one of the things that you taught me early when I was first starting to train is searching for songs for the time frame that I'm looking to run. And that's made me more conscientious than of the beat per minute in songs that I want to add to the Run Disney playlist.
Yeah, I mean, that is a key to a lot of this. And it's not for everybody. Everybody likes to do different things when they run. Some people like to listen to talk shows, podcasts,
right?
Audiobooks. Everybody likes to, do different things. Some people don't want to listen to anything at all. They just want to run and talk with their friends or whatever it might be. That's fine too. But if you like music to kind of help you get through this, and you're looking for times, there are lists out there. There are websites out there that will give you songs, and they'll give you beats per minute and approximately according to what time you're looking to run at. It'll tell you, okay, you're looking for this pace, this kind of beats per minute, and these songs do have those beats per minute for your time. So those will help you out.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
and this
cool.
is right in that wheelhouse for me, and hashtag Real Men Love Frozen. So I'm going to love having that one on my playlist.
For sure. I was actually expecting a Frozen one already. So, but I can see what you're saying. The other songs really don't have that same kind of fast enough beat to really keep you going in a race.
Yeah. I just for some reason, I just never have found one. I'm sure there's a couple in there. I think Into the Unknown is a possibility that might be able to make it in there, but I just struggle to find them from Frozen. I just listen to those for pleasure, not while I'm out actually running.
Good deal.
So enough about my list. Let's get back to the real list here. And the number one song on the real list, Michelle, what is your number one song that you think people might want to add to their Run Disney playlist?
All right. And this is one of those that's already on my list, although I don't play it when I'm just doing my regular workout run. I just hold it for race events. And that's from Hercules, Go the Distance.
I am on my way. I can go the distance. I don't care how far. Somehow I'll be strong. I know every mile will be worth my while. I would go most anywhere to find where I belong.
So I know I've used this story in other podcast episodes, that it really played an important role to me on another race that I was actually struggling. I think I had an injury or something, and I was struggling towards the end. And it's funny because I had just put this song on my playlist because I liked the song and I thought it was, kind of a neat song, and didn't associate the words with the activity until I was in that situation where I was like, okay, I can do this. And
I think that might have been our very first Run Disney race, which we had so many issues
Yes.
with to begin with. I think the one you're talking about, including we almost didn't make it
Right.
because I didn't know the right time.
I know.
And we were sprinting. Before the race even began, we were sprinting just to get to the last corral group that was going to go through this.
I know. And what could have been such one, devastating to not make it in there, but just to see again how wonderful cast members are. They saw us with our bibs and everything and realized we weren't near the starting line. And they're like, are you going to be in the race? and actually carted us some of the way there to get us a little quicker there and not use up all our energies and stuff. But yeah, I think I don't know if I twisted an ankle or something like that. But I just remember hearing this song towards the end and like, oh my God, I'm almost at the finish line. And this is perfect.
You went the distance.
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah,
So.
that's great. I had a feeling that would be at least on your list. I
Yeah.
know it's because of that story and the reason behind it that will always have an escalated seat in your heart.
Right,
That, that is. But I wasn't sure if it'd be your number one. But it doesn't surprise me if it's on your list.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
your number one makes sense for sure.
Well,
So,
thank you. Yeah, I questioned between that and dig a little deeper, I'll be honest. But because I had that experience, I guess I just felt to honor it a little higher.
Yeah. I
So.
get it.
All right. So
Good
now I'm
choice.
anxious to hear your number one.
My number one is a song that, I've just fallen in love with this version of this song. There's been a couple versions of this song, one from back in the 90s and now the relatively newer version of it. But I love the way it goes. And the entire song, there's only was a small portion of it actually used for the series. But the entire song, the unedited version of the song is really great, and it's definitely going to be on my playlist from here on out. And that is the theme from DuckTales.
Danger lurks behind you. There's a stranger out to find you. What to do? Just grab onto some DuckTales. Every day they're out there making DuckTales. Tales of daring, do bad and good luck tales. Every day they're out there making DuckTales. Tales of daring, bad and good, not ponytails or cottontails, no DuckTales.
So that song done by Felicia Barton, who actually sings the more updated version. Of course, the series unfortunately is done for now, but you can still go back and watch it on Disney Plus. It pops up on the Disney Channel or whatever every once in a while, and that song, it just goes. It ends up progressing.
Right.
It's stronger as it goes. It has a key change throughout it that just builds and builds and builds. And you heard the beat there.
Right.
It's got great energy.
Yes.
And it is going to be on my Run Disney playlist from here on out.
Great selection, sweetie. Yeah, I love it.
Thanks. So that is our lists for our songs that we would suggest you think about adding to your Run Disney playlist. We did get some from some listeners as well. We put the call out there and we got a couple back. Start with Natalie, who is, you can find, she hit us up on Instagram. You can find her there at _n.boyle, Boyle. And she said, Nighttime Spectaculars. Fantasmic helped get me through the princess half this year, and I usually turn on Happily Ever After to help keep me going. Cannot wait for Disneyland Fantasmic to return. I'll be listening during the Tower of Terror 10-miler next week.
Nice.
Best of luck to you, Natalie.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Really jealous, but
Right.
we're rooting for you
Yeah.
here across the country and having a great race.
Exactly. And great selection to offer.
Definitely. We also got hit up by the Disney Assembled podcast, who you can find at Disney Assembled on Twitter. By the way, Disney Assembled podcast, they just celebrated their second year anniversary as a show.
Yay.
Congratulations. They have a
Awesome.
great show. Definitely check them out. And they just had one suggestion for us, and they said this one, and it's Run That Race from Cars 3. A great high energy song. A really good choice.
Yeah, definitely good choice.
For sure.
Cool.
Finally, we also got an email from Jonathan, who said, Hi, Tom and Michelle. Here are my top 5 Disney songs for Run Disney playlist. Real Gone from Cars. That's a great choice. End of Line from Tron Legacy. I have to check that out. Is that, I think it might be Daft Punk. I have to check
think
that
so.
one out. Yeah, for sure. How Far I'll Go from Moana. That has been on my Run Disney playlist for a long time. I'll Make a Man Out of You from Mulan.
That's on mine.
Yeah, that's another fantastic choice. And, well, just for Lorelei, another one from Descendants, WICKED.
Good one.
Yeah,
Great list, Jonathan.
Great list. So perfect there. Do you have any other honorable mention songs by any chance?
Yeah, just a couple other ones. I had actually America from West Side Story.
Oh, I love that one.
Yeah,
That's
I
a
know,
good
right?
choice. Yeah, I love
kind of
that.
a dance beat kind of
Uh-huh,
thing.
for
yeah.
sure.
And
It
Surface.
fits in with tonight's Oscars.
Right. I know. So exciting about that. And Surface Tension, also from Encanto.
Oh, good choices.
So
Good
thank you.
choices,
Thank
yeah.
you. What about yourself?
Most of mine were already named here, but this is one that I'm surprised wasn't on your list because we know you love Phineas and Ferb.
Bow, chicka, bow, wow. That's what my baby says. Bow, bow, bow. And my heart starts pumping. Chicka, chicka, chew, wow. I'm never gonna stop. Get your goo means that I love you. I said a bow, chicka, bow, wow. That's what my baby says. Bow, bow, bow. And my heart starts pumping. Chicka, chicka, chew, wow. I'm never gonna stop. Get your goo means that I love you. Get your goo means that I love you. Get your goo means that I love you, baby, baby, baby. Get your goo means that I love you.
It's a goofy, high energy
Yeah,
song.
no, it
that'll
is
get stuck in
great.
your head. you know,
Right.
so.
And I thought about there was that and Us Against the Universe. I also thought, but I felt like, gosh, I've done Phineas and Ferb and I think like every top 5 list.
Never stopped me with Frozen. I don't know why
That's
it
true.
should
That's
bother
true.
you.
But yeah, that is a good one to have for sure.
So,
So
also Eye to Eye from a Goofy movie,
Yes.
I think is a great one to put on there as well.
that
And
one's on my. That's why I said I had a lot of. I have several other Goofy movies songs on mine.
Touch the Sky from Brave, I think is a good one. I don't know if it's might not quite be my pacing for mine, but it might be, it's that kind of
Yeah.
song that might fit into many people's Run Disney playlists.
Right.
But we'd love to know yours. If there are songs that you love that are on your playlist or you're thinking about adding to your playlist, hit us up through social media, through the Gmail account, and we'll share them on an upcoming show.
Yeah, and thanks for those who already shared some of your suggestions. They were great.
Yeah, definitely. And, this is just a lot of fun. Again, best of luck to everybody that's heading out to the springtime surprise run weekend coming up here this weekend, and to whatever races you have planned. By the way, if you've never done a Run Disney race, even if you're not really a runner, take a crack at them. They're so much fun. You don't necessarily have to run the whole thing as long as you can keep under a 16-minute per mile pace,
Right.
which means you can walk most of it and just run a little bit here, run
Right.
a little bit there. You're going to be able to do that. Go out on your block, wherever you go out and walk or run or whatever it may be, and just see how much you need to do to actually be under 16-minute mile. It's not that. You can almost walk at a really brisk pace
Right.
under that.
Right.
Give it a shot. It's so much fun. There's so much energy out there. It's a good time, and you might get hooked. You never know, like we did.
Right. Right. And we've done other runs, and they're fine and they're great, but there is just something very magical about a Run Disney run.
Right. They're expensive, much
Yes.
more expensive than the run probably in your neighborhood, the local 5K.
Right.
But the energy, the magic that is involved in these races, it's just it always adds to it. And really, that's part of the reason why we're really bummed that we're not going to be
Right.
there for this weekend's, because it's been a while. But we're planning on next year for sure.
Yeah.
We're going to get back into it. Wine and Dine went on sale this week. We can't promise we can do that one because of some stuff we got coming up, but I think we're going to shoot for Princess next year. I think
Yeah.
Princess might be our goal, to get out to one of the races, or if not a couple of the races for
Right.
Princess.
Right. I know. Like you said, we're really disappointed because it did, a while back look like we were going to be able to make it out there, and we're actually going to be accompanying some friends. So it's sad to miss the Run Disney race, especially when we were going to do it with such great people.
We had all these plans with them
I
and everything, and then
know.
we had to sorry if we totally flaked out, sorry. But we know they're going to have a great time, and
Yeah.
we're rooting for them just like we're rooting for all of you. So anyway, that is our look at songs you might want to consider adding to your Run Disney playlist. So many great songs. I didn't even get into, I've been using Hamilton on my playlist
Right.
forever.
Yeah.
There's lots of Hamilton songs that I think are great ones as well to add to them. So there are just so many out there. No matter what, just get out there and have a good time, whether you're doing it at home, whether you're doing it at one of the Walt Disney parks. We are rooting for you all.
Right. One of the other things we didn't mention is they do have virtual races as well.
It's true.
So, that's another option if you aren't able to get it over to the Disney parks for their run.
Speaking of that, and I didn't add it to our stories of the week this week because of the fact that it's probably already news by the time most of you listen to this on Monday or later, this episode, even though we drop them on Sundays. But apparently on Monday, they're announcing something with the virtual summer series for Run Disney that they've been doing over the last several years. And the artwork for it hinted at, hashtag Real Men Love Frozen. So we're going to be all over that,
Right,
or at least I am
exactly.
for sure. So that looks really interesting. So on Monday, they're going to officially announce what that is. Hopefully
Cool.
we'll get a glimpse at the medals and
Right.
everything. But that's really exciting for me, and I'm sure for Michelle as well.
Definitely.
And looking forward to all that. So
Cool.
the virtual events are great as well. If you can't make it out to the parks, just to do a little something at home. And
Right.
We've gotten some of those medals in the past, and some of them are
They're
really, really
beautiful.
great.
Yes. And you can print out your own bib. And
Yeah.
it's definitely it's not at all like being there, but it's something you can still do and still have, some fond mementos from it. And you could actually do it with some of your own friends and
Yeah.
family too.
Yeah. By the way, if you're going to be doing that, let us know if you're going to be doing whatever they end up calling this thing. We're recording this on Sunday. They're officially announcing on Monday, whatever they're titling this. If you are doing the summer run series for Run Disney, let us know because we're probably going to be doing it as well.
Right.
And one of the great things about the virtuals is there is no 16-minute pace. You can take
Right.
you can take all day to do your 5K if you really want to. You can do a leisurely stroll as long as you do it. You're supposed to do it, okay?
Right.
But and then you can still cosplay with characters. So you might get a few strange looks on your street, but what the heck? It's fun anyway.
Right.
But let us
Exactly.
know, and maybe we can coordinate something.
Yeah,
where
a virtual
We'll try
race.
and we've done that in the past. We'll try and do it on the same day or similar days with you. So let
Right.
us know. Yeah, for sure. So enough about that. Let's move on. We have another couple rounds to get through
Oh, yeah.
for our Hyperion Adventures podcast Disney Songs Madness bracket. And again, remember, if you have a bracket in, the points escalate as we go on through. Today, we're going to go through the Elite 8, which will be 8 points for each victory, and the Final 4, which will be 16 points. So even if you've had a tough time at the beginning, if you've got a few songs left in there,
Right.
you still got a shot at that thing. So let's go ahead and get out the brackets now. And we'll start over in the classic
Classics.
categories with the animated part of the Elite 8. And that battle is between the 3 seed Be Our Guest. Actually, it's 2 3 seeds. It's from the animated side, Be Our Guest, and from the live action side, Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Michelle, did you have one of those songs advancing?
No, I didn't even have them on my list.
Well, I had Be Our Guest advancing. I think that might be the only song. No, I had one more that made it through. And that is exactly what made it through. Be Our Guest did make it through into the Final 4. So
All
that
right.
is your regional winner out of the classic songs bracket. Moving on to the bottom of that side, and that is the fun songs portion of the bracket. And the Elite 8 matchup there is between the number 1 seed from the live action portion of it, Step in Time, versus the little Cinderella here, the number 6 seed out of the animated portions. That is You're Welcome. Michelle, did you have one of those songs advancing?
I did. I had Step in Time advancing.
I didn't have either of those songs advancing. I don't even know if I had either of those songs. I think I had Step in Time, but I didn't have either of those songs advancing. But the song that did advance is, again, the Cinderella, You're Welcome, the 6 seed, going on, winning that region and heading to the Final 4.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's
pretty
incredible.
impressive there.
Yes.
So back over to the east coast of the bracket and into the I Want songs portion of it. And there we have another Cinderella, although not a Cinderella in my heart. In the animated portion, the number 8 seed is Let It Go. Going up against the number 1 seed from the live action portion of the bracket is Strong from the live action Cinderella. Michelle, did you have one of those songs advancing?
I had Strong in that bracket, but I did not have that moving along, and the one that I did is not on there, which is Reflection from Mulan. So
Well, as you all know, hashtag Real Men Love Frozen, and I did have Let It Go getting to that spot to the Elite 8. I did not have Strong making it through. I had That's How You Know. But I did have Let It Go advancing, and yes, Let It Go is advancing to the Final 4.
All right.
Yes, so that makes me pretty happy.
good deal.
Yes. Another Cinderella and a couple Cinderellas, a 6
Yeah.
seed and an 8 seed making
Right.
it through. Finally, wrapping up the Elite 8 with the Heart Songs portion. And we have 2 number 2 seeds in this matchup. From the animated portion, we have Remember Me, the Miguel version from Coco. And from the live action side, out of Mary Poppins, we have Feed the Birds. Michelle, did you have one of those songs advancing?
I did. I had Feed the Birds advancing.
Very nice. I had Feed the Birds in this matchup, but I did not have it advancing. I had it, and I did not have the other song. I did not have Remember Me. I had it Out There from Hunchback of Notre Dame, which got eliminated pretty early. And then I had Out There going to the Final 4. So obviously that didn't happen.
Right.
But Feed the Birds did advance to the Final Four. It is the representative out of that region of the bracket. So that means that on one side of the bracket in the Final Four, we have Be Our Guest, the number 3 seed, going up against You're Welcome, the number 6 seed. Michelle, did you have either one of those in there? I can't remember. Yeah. I had Be Our Guest in there, and I believe I had Be Our Guest advancing. I did. And they did advance. Be Our Guest has moved on to the final 2 matchup.
Oh, we're doing the final 2. Okay.
We're not doing the final 2. I'm just telling you who's made it to the final 2.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So Be Our Guest has won that portion of the Final 4, moving on to the final 2.
I see.
And it will square off the winner between the number 8 seed, Let It Go, and the number 2 seed, Feed the Birds. Michelle, did you have one of those 2 songs and one of them advancing?
I did. I had Feed the Birds advancing.
And I had Let It Go advancing. So which one was it? It was Feed the Birds advancing to the final 2.
Great song.
Yes, it is. It is a great song. So here's how it stacks up for what we will announce next week. It will be the winner between the number 3 seed from the West Coast portion of the bracket, Be Our Guest from Beauty and the Beast, versus the number 2 seed from the East Coast portion of the bracket, Feed the Birds from Mary Poppins. So
Wow.
how do you think that's going to end up? That's a tough matchup for sure to decide our champion. And we'll be announcing our champion next week, as well as who has won the prize pack by having the most correct picks out of our bracket, the most points, not necessarily the most correct picks, the most points total out of it, because the final matchup between those 2, if you pick the winner out of those 2, that is 32 points.
Wow.
It could be decided right there if you have picked the champion.
Maybe me?
Maybe you. Sorry, you're disqualified.
I know.
But it's been a lot of fun going through this, and we will have your champion for you next week as we move on.
Yeah, and thanks for everybody who participated. It was great seeing how many people participated too.
Lots of people.
I know, it was
participated.
awesome.
So much fun. So
Yeah.
much fun. And I already know what's happening here, and I know it's going down to the wire as to what is going to end up, who's going to end up winning this thing. So exciting stuff this week. So let's move on to our Disney stories of the week. And I do have a few for you this week. I'm going to start with, if you thought that there was been a little something missing from World Showcase since the parks have reopened after they closed due to the pandemic. Well, we have some good news for you. This from actually the Disney's Careers website. Interesting stuff. Yeah. They said, since the reopening of Walt Disney World, we've frequently been asked when Disney international programs will bring back the Disney cultural representatives. Well, on Friday, they said they were thrilled to announce the Disney Cultural Representative Program will return in phases and begin welcoming back the first new participants in August. So that means when you get back to World Showcase again and you go to the different country pavilions, starting in August, in many of them, you will have people actually from that country again, helping you out, serving food, etc., which I think adds so much to those countries when you visit them.
Oh yeah, it just enriches that experience so much, and so happy to hear that that's coming back.
Yeah, very, very thrilled by that. It really does make your experience in World Showcase that much better. World Showcase is great anyway, but when you also have the cultural representative there, know, from the actual country itself, it enhances it so much more.
Right, and we've always talked about how it's never a disappointment to talk to a cast member and get some of their backstory, and this shares into that cultural aspect of being at Epcot when you get to talk to the representatives that are actually from those countries.
So the story went on to say, right now we are reaching out to participants from select countries whose program was shortened, canceled, or waitlisted in 2020. So the people that were either just started or were planning on coming over to be a part of this program, as well as those who had an offer and had not yet arrived, and offering them the first opportunity to reapply. We will then invite others to apply soon. We are doing this in a thoughtful and responsible way with the safety of our participants and working cast top of mind. With this rephased reintroduction, initial recruitment will start in Germany, Norway, Italy, France, UK, and Canada for World Showcase at Epcot. They say, we look forward to bringing additional countries on board and sharing applications with them once they clear travel restrictions and or have CDC authorized vaccine availability. They say, we're eagerly counting down the days until we welcome back our cultural representatives, and we'll continue to keep you updated as more countries join us to share their magic in our parks and resorts. So such great news.
Right.
Really, that is very, very exciting.
Yeah, looking forward to that happening again.
For sure. Speaking of things returning to the Walt Disney World Resort, there's a guest favorite form of transportation that's set to come back as well. Yes, this from the OrlandoSentinel.com. They say the minivan service is on its way back to Walt Disney World, according to a post on the official TikTok account for Disney Parks. The 13-second video shows one of the polka dot vehicles being activated with the quote, rolling back in this summer, appears on the screen. No other details have been shared by the company. Disney World's official website still lists the service as, quote, temporarily unavailable, end quote.
Right.
Of course, the minivans are a partnership with the Lyft rideshare company and not been operating since the resort's 4-month pandemic shutdown began in March 2020. We know we've seen them out in some of the parking lots just sitting there waiting to be put back into use. And that's exciting that they're coming back, because they're just, I know they're a little pricier than just doing a regular ride share or whatever, but there's just something fun about when you see them kind of zooming around out throughout the resort, and maybe you book one for yourself.
Exactly. And they're just fun, and they're very wonderful, warm people.
Yeah. Yeah. They're adorable vehicles, and I'm just glad they're coming back, because I wasn't sure they were coming back for sure. So just glad that that's happening.
Yeah.
So we have one more Walt Disney World return to tell you about, and it's another beloved nighttime ticketed event. This from the Disney Parks blog. They say, just in time for summer season, a new H2O Glow After Hours is coming to Disney's Typhoon Lagoon water park. The luminous After Hours event returns to the Tropical Oasis Memorial Day weekend with new elements that are sure to glow up your Walt Disney World vacation this summer. They say guests of Disney Resorts hotels, Walt Disney World Swan and Dolphin hotels, as well as Shades of Green at Walt Disney World Resort can purchase tickets to H2O Glow After Hours on the Walt Disney World Resort website beginning on Tuesday, March 29th. So just a couple days after we're recording this, with tickets on sale for the general public April 1st. And this popular nighttime event, of course, will have limited capacity. So if you're thinking about it, you might want to jump on that.
Yeah, and if you've never gone to one of the water parks, this is a great way to, kind of have that initiation into the fun that you can have there.
Yeah, so here's some details about it. They say the after hours party will offer unique, vibrant decor, high energy DJ dance parties, exclusive glow themed menu offerings, and so much more. Imagine your favorite watery attractions glowing under the stars with shorter wait times and more time to enjoy, whether you're shooting down Crushing Gusher or making a splash in the surf pool or showing off those groovy moves on the dance floor. You know me, showing off those groovy moves. You'll experience this storm-strewn paradise in a whole new light. You'll even receive a glowing wristband and tasty snacks like popcorn and select ice cream treats to enjoy throughout the evening.
Yes, fun.
So these events will take place between the hours of 8 and 11 p.m. on Saturday nights from May 28th to August 27th, giving you 3 glowing hours, they say, in the water park after the gates close. Guests with tickets for the exclusive party can even enter Typhoon Lagoon as early as 6 p.m. So that's what they usually do that for a lot of their nighttime events. Give you a couple extra hours to get in whatever the park may be. So a lot of fun. We're not, specifically water park aficionados per se, but I know a lot of you love them, and this seems like a fun way to approach them in the evenings. Right.
Yeah. Like I said, if you haven't been to one of the water parks, it's a fun way to experience, with the shorter lines and things like that. So and the extra fun around it.
Right. Especially because for the water parks, you can add those onto your tickets.
Right.
You can add them onto your annual passes when you can get annual passes again. But if there's a good chance that most of you that are visiting are going to be buying a ticket if you're going to the water parks anyway. So why not buy a ticket to the nighttime event and have some fun out there in the evening with probably shorter wait times and, a little extra added fun.
Right.
Yeah.
So Cool.
Very good. So that's it for the Disney stories of the week. However, we never leave you without giving you some sort of tip that might help you on your next vacation. And when we do this, we always start with Michelle. One, because she's wonderful, awesome, all things great in the world. She does the best research. You just heard she has the best list, but she definitely has the very best tips. So let's get to it. Here's Michelle's tip of the week.
You're sweet and hilarious all at once, honey. And my tip is going to be very short today. It's really in terms of something that you may experience and may not know that you can do this. But if you want to experience the Enchanted, the new nighttime spectacular over at the Magic Kingdom at the outdoor viewing area of California Grill, I know that they do have a special party that you can purchase tickets to go to that, and you get that special. But actually, as long as you have had you've done your dining at California Grill anytime during that day, or even if your reservation is for after the fireworks show, you can still participate. You just need to show your receipt from the earlier in the day, or your reservation, let them check your reservation for after the fireworks, and you can still use their watch it from their outdoor viewing areas. And I'm really having a hard time talking now.
It's okay. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people love California Grill brunch.
Right.
So just because you're going for brunch, not dinner, doesn't mean you're going to miss out on the fireworks, because you can
Exactly.
come back. That is
Right.
a great point and a great tip, because Michelle always has the best tips.
You're cute.
So, my tip for this week, I'm going to go back to Run Disney, and a lot of these are tips that I've actually shared in the past. But for some of you that either haven't done a Run Disney event before, maybe you have one coming up this week, or you have one coming up in the future, or maybe you've done one and just could use a few extra tips on about it. I'm just going to give you a couple quick ones to prepare you for these events. First of all, well, if you're going this weekend, training might not be, hopefully you've trained for it.
Right.
But if you have a race coming up, whether it be Wine and Dine, the Walt Disney World Marathon weekend, the Princess, whatever, be sure you're training for these races at least a little bit to get in shape as best you can, so you're ready to go. You don't have to train hard, but do some training to get you prepared for them. It will help you so you can have the best time while you're doing these races.
Right.
But as far as just for this weekend coming up and for the actual race day itself, I'm going to tell you right now that especially when it's on the warmer side, which it tends to be at Walt Disney World often for these races, be sure you're hydrated beforehand.
Right.
And I'm not just talking in the morning before your race or during your race. Start the day before, if not a couple days before. Start hydrating regularly before your race, so your body has time to absorb it, have it be in you and ready to go when it comes to morning of race day.
Right. Especially if you're not a native of Florida and you're not acclimated to the humidity, that can really zap you as well.
Right. For sure. So, you know me, I'm always all about staying hydrated, but especially
What?
before
Never heard that.
a Run Disney race, you want to be sure you're hydrated for that. The night before, you should, you've heard of, carb loading before a race. You should do that. Definitely carb load before the race, but be smart about what you carb load with. Don't use a lot of heavy sauces, or maybe not even something too acidic the night before,
or
because
greasy.
you're getting up super early and it could affect your stomach. Something simple like some basic pasta and maybe some olive oil and some garlic and some vegetables, maybe a little protein if you want, but I suggest protein more after the race than necessarily needing it before the race. But something like that the night before won't be too heavy on your stomach, but it'll get you that carbs that you need to kind of get you geared up for the race. Yeah. The night before your race also, these things happen really, really early in the morning, especially when you're trying to catch transportation to get out to them. So get all your gear ready the night before and in place so you know where it is. So you're not in the middle of the night, especially if you have family members who aren't going to the race with you. So you're not disturbing them and searching where did I put my headphones? Where are those shorts? Where are my socks? Where are my shoes? Whatever it may be. Find a place, put them all together and have them ready to go and get dressed or ready to bring with you in the morning. And if you're bringing headphones or your phone or a smartwatch or whatever it may be, make sure that those are completely charged up before you get ready for your race. And if you're doing one of the longer races, you may want to bring up, one of those battery chargers
Charge sticks,
with you.
yeah.
You know, it's something to kind of help you out to make sure it stays charged. Because the last thing you want is for that thing to run out of juice when you really just need that extra couple miles to
Right.
drive you through that. You need that music. You need whatever it may be.
Right. And to take more pictures.
And to take
too.
more pictures. You'll take more pictures than you think.
Right.
And that can use up your battery as well. So on the morning of the race, be sure and warm up, stretch out, be ready to go. You'll be waiting there for a while. It's a lot of hurry up and wait
Right.
for Run Disney races. Keep yourself as warm as possible. Keep yourself moving. Keep yourself stretched out so you're ready to go. And when the race does start, especially after you've waited for so long, sometimes you can get off and just want to go.
Right.
Watch your pacing, especially early on in the race. You don't want to, gas yourself out early in the race, and then you're just really dying as you're trying to
Right.
make those last few miles. I suggest you go a little slower. I also suggest don't worry about trying to set your PR in a Run Disney race.
Yeah.
Instead, go out there, have a good time, and make the best of it. Take pictures, enjoy yourself, because you paid a lot of money for this race. You can set the PR at the $25 5K that you paid for
Right.
near your home. For
Right.
this one, you're paying a lot more for. Enjoy yourself as much as possible.
Yeah, because they probably don't have all the characters out like you get to have at Disney.
Probably not. You never know, but probably not. Probably not. So just a few tips. That
I
might
always
help
have a
you,
character with me when I'm with you.
for better or worse.
Always better.
Yeah. When I leave.
All right, I think we're at the end of the
you
show.
didn't finish that sentence. Always better when you
No,
leave.
Not at all. You're funny.
You're right. Time to finish this up. Thanks for joining us this week. Next week, well, we're very close to Disneyland Paris's official
Right.
30th birthday. So we're going to look back at the history of the first European Disney park. And when we do this, hey, Michelle's research, this is going to be a great episode because she does the best research. So this should be a lot of fun exploring Disneyland Paris and its 30 years of being a Disney park.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to sharing that with you. And we'll sprinkle in some of the fun things that have happened, although I know they've already rolled out a lot of the new activities for the celebration of their 30th anniversary, and that's been on social media. So we'll touch on it, but it won't be necessarily the main event.
Right. But it's going to be a lot of fun. And I every time when we do one of these Michelle research pieces, I learn something I didn't know before because she does such a great job of it. So I
thank
can't
you.
wait to find out what I learn about Disneyland Paris and their 30 years of existence coming up next week.
Yeah.
As for today, we appreciate that you joined us today. In the future, you can find us most everywhere you get podcasts. However, the very best place to find us is on our own website, HyperionAdventurespodcast.com. And while you're there,
Please sign up for our newsletter if you haven't done so yet.
yep, just another way to be involved in the Hyperion Adventures podcast world. Another great way is to follow us on social media. We're on Twitter at Hyperion Podcast, Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest at Hyperion Adventures Podcast. If you are on Facebook, come on over and join us for some good, positive Disney energy fun on our Hyperion Adventurers Facebook group.
Yes. And one of the things that we always really appreciate if you just tell a family member or a friend about our podcast.
Yes, and the Facebook group too.
Right.
Both things. They're great. Have them all come on and join, even if they don't listen to the podcast, which they should. But even if they don't, if they just want to have some good, positive Disney energy fun in our Hyperion
True.
Adventurer Facebook group, they're invited. Come on over. It doesn't
Exactly.
take much to join. Just go on over and have some fun with us. Also, we're on YouTube. If you want to find our videos there, just do a quick search for Hyperion Adventures Podcast, hit subscribe, and you'll know whenever we have something new going on there. And if you ever want to contact us for any reason, please hit us up at our Gmail account, HyperionAdventuresPodcast@gmail.com.
And if there's any topics you'd like us to go into depth about, we're always willing to hear from you and follow up on that.
For sure. And, even if you just want to say hi, we
True.
love interacting with all our Hyperion adventurers, whether it be through social media, whether it's on the Facebook group, and especially through Gmail. Just come on over and contact us, and we love hearing from you.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's it. Thank you for listening to another episode of the Hyperion Adventures podcast. We look forward to sharing some time with you again next week. Until that time, I'm Tom,
I'm Michelle.
and we hope that you have a magical week.